And in the shit show model, one number in this entire sequence does all the work. And that number is number 4. Now, if this clicked for you, if this makes sense to you, you're sitting on a goddamn gold mine without you knowing it. When the count in the shit show sequence hits number 4, the sequence is essentially almost over. With that number 4, that will tell you what the next 2 in the next upcoming sequence will do. And in turn, what are you doing? Predicting the future of the next move. Let me show you exactly how number 4 works. The extremely underestimated number, just because you shouldn't necessarily be trading away from it. If you're new here, the shit show is basically a price action methodology. It's no indicators, no oscillators, and no noise that can sort of distract you from actually reading what is happening in the market. It's simply just a structured way of reading what price is actually doing. The model runs in sequences. In the same way, therefore, the market runs in sequences. And each number in this sequence has a job. Number 1's job is to essentially start to build the count, build the entire sequence. It creates the kickoff of the sequence, so to say. And then when number 2 is created, it has a specific job to do as well. And that job is to create number 3, which is sitting up top here. So this is the sequence as a whole. The 1 into 2, the 2 into 3, the 3 into 4. But a lot of people overlook the idea of number 4. They underestimate it, even though that is the number that predicts the future of the upcoming sequence. So the whole point of a sequence that is playing out in the market is to get and reach the number 4, so we as traders operating the market can understand what the next move is going to look like. So let's imagine number 4 did this thing right here. What is that telling us? That is telling us that 4 has decided to not run number 3 and instead run itself. That tells me that the next 2 is going to be what? Go down, because number 4 ran itself. So this is what it looks like. Price would most likely go up above here, create a 2, and then run lower to create that 3, and you would have that 1 right here. Now we'll start to realize that everything is just a connection in between 1, 2, 3, 4, and depending on what that 4 does or that 3 does, you will know what the next 2 is going to do, meaning you are predicting price before it happens. So as you're seeing price going here, and let's imagine that price just did this, you can now, and we're right here in price, you can now expect this, which hasn't appeared in the market yet, you can now expect this to play out. And that, my friend, is how we predict the future. Number 4 is the power number that gives direction for us. So here's what's actually happening when the count completes. Price is made, the structured move, right? It's not random, it's not noise. It's gone through enough legs, enough pushes, enough sequence, so to say, in the numberings that we can say this phase is sort of done. The 1, 2, 3 doesn't necessarily predict the future, but the 4 does. And what does that confirm? Well, the next sequence. And now let's imagine that the next sequence also plays out with that 4. So it will tell you what the next sequence is going to do. So looking at that too, in the same way we're looking at this too, that means that there must be a 4 on the left side over here. So what this would look like, it would essentially be the same thing that you've seen just now, but instead the 4 running number 3, then running higher again. Meaning that is the 4, that is the 2, that's the 3, and that's the 1. And number 4 ran number 3, so we should look for a bullish sequence. And here it is. Bullish sequence runs itself, bearish sequence. Right here. So what am I trying to tell you? Well, I'm trying to tell you that how I'm able to predict the market, how we as shit show traders can predict the market, is because the sequence begins and it never ends. The 4 tells us what the next thing is going to do with an extremely much higher likelihood. So when you're looking at all of these numbers in front of you right now, what do all of them have in common? What does all of these have in common? Well, they confirm one another, right? If there wasn't a 2, there couldn't be a 4. And if it wasn't a 2 down there, then nothing would exist. And if the 1 didn't decide to push below that breathing room, then there wouldn't be a 2, which means nothing would exist. So the point that I'm trying to make is this is a never-ending story. It began, it never ended. No time, no indicators, no confusion. Is it going to be hard in the beginning? Yeah. Because you're coming from information that is very much more complex. But what you have in front of you, this is essentially the majority of my model without going too deep on it. This is what you will see everyone doing. And you most likely have seen everyone doing it. I'm looking to break you out of the cycle of complexity. That's my goal. And this broke me out of my box of complexity. You might not see it right now, my friend, but your complexity is what is killing you. And you're fighting to believe. I know exactly what you're thinking. You're fighting to believe that the complexity is what's going to make you succeed, but that's just not the case. Somebody else told you that. And either you decide to accept that fact, or you decide to sort of take the hit on your own ego. It's not wasted time. Okay? It's not wasted time. I know you're stubborn and people tell you to be disciplined and all of these things, but how can you be disciplined with a stupid ass thing that's not going to make you better? Why would you bother be disciplined with that? So the question is, the complexity you're doing right now, is it really worth it? Is it worth holding on to this complexity when you can do something simple? I have multiple ICT students, TJR, CRT, all of these so to be saying teachers out there. And none of them has complained about this information. Not a single one. It's simple. What they are fighting against is their own minds, because it's so simple that the only thing that can be the problem is their own brains. And I'm making sure that they understand that part. So if you actually want to learn trading, do something simple. You don't even have to pick this. There's multiple other simple things out there. Pick something simple. Do something simple out of it. And you can reach that wall faster. In that way, you can become a better trader and a better person faster. And that's going to automatically reflect on your trading. So as you can see right here, the sequence has a clear start. Number one. The clear start and the clear end. There is a bit of other ways that it could end, right? It can end in fail 2s, it can end in 3 not running the 2. There's multiple things that you need to know accordingly, but this was what I'm talking about right here is a sufficient sequence, efficient sequence. efficient sequence, so to say. We also know the direction price was moving during the count, right? And that direction is now the direction we're trading in. So you're getting essentially a start and a clear end. And in between the start and the end, you know how price will be acting within that. And then when it ends, it will also tell you how the next thing in the beginning into the middle will act up based on the past end. That's not a guess. That's a read on price. That's not some hocus pocus hoping this and that and waiting for some sort of this and that. No. That's not a guess. That's a read of the market. So again, when we're looking at this perspective, my favorite number to trade is number 2. I'm a number 2 type of guy, right? And that too has been explained by the previous sequence that tells me what the next 2 is going to be. Don't you understand? Meaning that I will know exactly how this is going to play out based on what this price did here. And do you understand how calm it becomes? And since that 2 does this, then I have this little sucker right here that wants to do that. Do you think I can trade it to the downside? Yeah. And then 4 does that, and I will do the same thing as I did over here. I will now do and take this one to the downside. And guess what? Price is sitting here. So I'll predict what the next thing is going to do. But the question is, how much longer is it predicting when it happens more than 80% of the time? How much predicting is that? And did you see how simple that was that I just explained to you? Reading price like this. Now, it's kind of degenerate for me to actually say that it is simple, that it is this easy, because there's multiple people that are fighting to understand it. But here's the kicker, right? This is a perfect fit for me. This is how my mind functions. It functions in a story, right? And since it's functioning in this sort of story, this right here is the platform that you will build on. And I want you guys to take this and find you within this. And that's nothing of what these other, so to say, mentors out there are speaking about. I'm basically shooting myself in the head when I'm saying that. That's how that goes, right? Because I'm trying to teach you how to trade this. I'm telling you, build a foundation upon this. Let's make something great with this together, right? Take this, make it yours. What if you're the type of person that loves to take the threes? Go ahead. Only take the threes. You can be the 3 type of person, that aggressive one, right? And I can be the slow turtleneck, right? That sits and waits for the 2 in a cozy corner. This is not stressful. This is calm. We're having fun in our lives. Chatting back and forth. The reason why most people can't trade this very model is not skill. It's not even patience. It's understanding and accepting the fact that they have walked in the wrong direction till this point. That's why most people can't trade this model. They can't accept the fact that it could be this simple, because what have I done with my life if this is the case? What have I done with my time if this is the case? And that's not your fault. That's why I'm taking them all down, right? That's why we're coming in, we're taking it down, stripping it away. But the reality is that simplicity kills complexity in this industry. And it's never too late to change the perspective. If you view the market as complex, annoying, billions of things happening, that's because you believe it is. And most likely when you came in with a fresh mind, you didn't think it was going to be this complicated, weren't you? But the really hard part to understand is that it's very simple. don't fall under the dickhead's lies to make them be praised by you. I will also say, if this did not click for you, do something else. You need to understand that you have to find what fits your mind, your perspective on things. It's you. That's the one thing that you're missing. You're missing the perspective of you. You're trying to force yourself into something. You're forcing your brain into a fit that doesn't just fit you. It's like putting on a super tight t-shirt. Why wouldn't you just put on a regular good fit t-shirt for yourself instead? That fits good. You're trying to force yourself into the smallest size. But what the shit are you doing, man? Aren't you a large? That's an XS. Yeah, but I'm trying to... No, why are you trying? Just put this on. It looks way better. Now, if this clicked for you, if this makes sense to you, I'm telling you, you're sitting on a goddamn gold mine without you knowing it. And if you chat with every single one of the 6-week program students, you will see that this guy really wants me to succeed. And that's the fact. I'm not going to give you this and let you go. I'm going to give you this and I'm going to walk you through things. I'm going to help you out. Not hold your hand forever, because that's not going to do you any good. Since I'm looking to create independent traders, I'm going to hold your hand up until certain steps and then try it out. Go do the hard work yourself. That's going to build self-sustained traders and not reliant traders on the mentor like every single one of these other rats do. If you're serious about simplifying how you trade, that's where you start. Talk to you guys soon.